All right, well, it happened again. This is a Monarch Air box fan, 20-inch, although the case is pretty big. As you can see, there's not very little rust at all on the bottom of this. Top of the case looks nice. Here's your Art Deco plastic handle intact. It has a push button. Berns Air Corp Chicago, so maybe this is Berns Air, but usually when you see these, this fan says Monarch Air. Maybe Berns made it for them. I believe that this is a GE motor. Not 100% on that, but I think so. I'm going to turn it around and show you the back. So here's the motor. I think this is a GE export motor. I don't really know much about these. If you do, let me know. Does this motor come apart? Can you pull this apart? It looks like it should come apart. I'm not really sure. I've never seen one of these before. But it's got the oil port tubes. There's one on the front and one on the back. It's pretty cool. This is definitely going to need a cord. Come on, focus, buddy. This is kind of separated a little bit. I'm going to put a little tape on there. He ran it. I saw it run. When I picked it up, he ran it for me. And it runs nice. Spins real free. I'm going to oil it up. And I'm going to put a little tape on here before I run it. And then this will need a cord. I don't know where I'm going to get a cord. But that's what it'll need. It's got the grommet intact. It's got plastic wrapped around the wiring, which is probably original. So we'll be able to I'll probably just replace the cord fairly close to here, as opposed to pulling the switch apart. There's a little electronics store out near where I teach, and I was talking to the guy. I had bought some stuff from him for these projects, and I mentioned to him that this guy here, the Fasco, has a push button, and that needs to be, it's got a cloth wiring on it, needs to be rewired. And he's like, yeah, well, don't take that snap switch apart. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, you'll never get it back together. Which sounds about right, because there's probably a tape spring, you know, a metal spring. So I don't imagine that being very easy to get back together. So anyway, let's run it. The motor is huge. All right, here's the Berns Air, Monarch Air, I guess. High is first. Doesn't have a real fast RPM, but it runs and it doesn't rattle. Medium low, actually. There's not much of a difference between the two, but it's a nice low. Here's off. Pretty nice. Again, it's a pretty substantial motor. I mean, half the weight is probably the motor. There's a lot of dust in the motor, needs to be dusted out. Whether or not I'm able to get it apart. I've never seen one of these apart. I don't really know what to expect. If you have one of these and you could do a demonstration, that'd be grand. If you have any thoughts on it, it looks like it should go apart pretty easy. I've just never done it. And usually the motors are two halves with the laminates in the center. This looks like it's a little bit different, so I'm not sure what to expect. For now, I'm just going to drop some oil in it and clean it a little bit and leave her as she is. So there you go. There's your Berns Air. It's got a name on it, Paul Duhamel. So I think it's kind of neat when I have some old dude's name on it. But yeah, it's a pretty substantial fan. It's not quite as heavy as it looks, but it's pretty cool. Found locally, not too much rust. For up here, that's half your battle right there, but it doesn't look like it ever sat in any water. Again, in the bottom there's not much rust, so that's pretty nice. So thanks for watching, and if you know anything more about whether this is really a Monarch Air or what the deal is, it's obviously made by Berns, and I think it's a GE motor. Let me know what you think. Just put some oil in. Took a lot of oil. This motor is, I've never seen one of these before, personally, and what's interesting is that those oil tubes are flexible. It's like a rubber. I figured they were metal. But I'm going to run it a little bit, let it warm up, and let some of the oil get into the bearing. But as it is, it spins real nice. It doesn't have any chattering noise. There's not any play in the bearing from what I can tell. It's even tight to and fro, so all the washers must be intact. But yeah, it's a nice little machine. So we'll let it run a little bit, heat up, get some oil going in there. It took a lot of oil, so there you go. There's your made in Chicago. Made in Chicago. Chicago. It's a wonderful town. Huh! All right, Berns Air. Dig it.